Okay, here we are for the first season or first week of the season. God damn, I'm terrible. I can't even fucking speak. I'm still sober. But okay, we're gonna do a pretty short podcast today because I'm an idiot, can't kick ass, and I did not line up with a Kraken to see when he was able to do a
Uh,
podcast.
that's all good. I mean, tonight was probably the best night we could do it anyway, and then it
What
lets the
happened to
RAs get out there, and
what
then
happens on the East Coast or West Coast? Fuck,
yeah,
all
yeah,
your prime time is I should be sleeping.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't sleep much, but no. So it'll be good though to do it right now because we just got the RAs out there, and the first game of the season's tomorrow. So getting everyone hyped up. I can see a lot of traffic. Some teams are out there playing a bit together. I personally am on the Red Wings. I get direct with them, and they've been busy in their Discord. So hopefully everyone else has been a little bit busier. Um, I know you talked that your team is not quite.
I mean, my team hasn't played together yet. I'm on the Leafs. I'm hoping it's not blow Leafs blow, like because I'm close
Yeah,
to Buffalo, but I'm not even a fucking Sabres fan. So I gotta
yeah,
make.
yeah. But you like blue and white teams.
I mean, I can't complain. I had one fucking sign my paycheck. Jesus.
Yeah.
So let's not go with that one. But
So anyway, so when we were talking about for format, we were talking about coming in and kicking off by looking over the rosters a little bit. So the draft happened, and congrats to everyone who got drafted. Those that got RA'd. Hopefully your luck was good. And we'll do at the end a rule recap. But since I'm already discussing it, anyone who signs up late, you will be RA'd, and then you'll initially start as a TC, but you cannot be moved. So the team, if you're a late sign up, that's your penalty for being late to the game.
so
Is
there's no
you're
trade for that anymore.
so late signups are no trade. So that takes out some of the and I'll discuss it real quick. There's two thought process on it. Is a lot of thing or one thing that we've seen a lot of times in the past is when someone gets late signed up to a lower team that's already down towards the bottom of the level,
They
and
just gotta be
obviously we haven't had a game yet, but then yeah, people try and trade to try and get those people and onto better teams, and they'll sit there and they'll be like, I don't want to play unless I'm on one of the top teams if there's certain players and whatnot. And it doesn't help anyone. I mean, you sign up, it's a draft league. It's not a bring your own team league for the most part. You get to bring four management. So the goal is that you can play wherever you get put. And so with that, what ends up happening is those players kind of complain their way to getting traded into top teams or try and force themselves to a top team or they get banned. So instead of allowing that trade, we're just going to say they can't be traded at all now. And the thought is that those bottom teams are getting screwed before, and now the player may quit, but he may have quit anyway if he couldn't get traded. We're just taking the whole trade thing out of it. And because the whole point is, while it's not supposed to be a reward for teams that draft bad, it's still trying to make it a competitive league. And it's more fun when the games are competitive. No one wants to sit there and just beat up a team that's already down and out for the whole time. So the late signups when they get R8, if it's a good player and it gets to a lower level team, and then I believe we're still doing where there's a lottery for the top two teams. I'll have to verify that. But so like last year, the bottom two teams or bottom three teams got to pick, and then everyone else was R8. So it was a modified draft for the late signups. It wasn't full draft, wasn't full RA, and so that the whole point behind that is to give those teams a chance to catch up, keep it a competitive league, so that games, especially towards the end of the season, aren't just forfeits for no reason, or just an absolute shit show of just like a team not caring because they're down and out. We want it to be as competitive as possible. Theoretically, a player here, a player there is not going to change the entire course of the season, just make things more competitive. So instead of the teams getting screwed by players trying to force their way to good teams and then making good teams even better, while the bad teams don't get don't get much for it, and creating a bigger gap. We're just saying, look, they can take who you want, who they want. You get put there, you get stuck there, and then you can't move. And then the worst case scenario is the ego, which any player could do. And there's only so much we can do for egoing, and that's where the rule book comes in the hand with the penalties, and we're just gonna go with that. So
I agree with that. I think there's a way that maybe you make it if you can't ask for a trade request unless you play a certain amount of games. It's not like 3. Make it be like like what I forgot what the rule is for the TC to get called up. You got to play minimum so many games for it. Make it a couple games under that, just way you can help out other teams. Like, yeah, you might be able to get an asset for somebody that's being a cunt to you for being with an ego. So at least force them to play in games if you.
Yeah, that's another approach. We tried that approach last season, and we're gonna try this and see how it goes. It's always a learning and trying different things and trying to find. There's never a perfect solution, and there's always gonna be every you put this at a government level. Every little law you put into place has 15 million unintended consequences that are stupid. Edit that.
I think we'll be fine for this, but let's try and do straight one without fucking editing. Let's go 2 for 2 without editing.
Okay. So, anyway, so there's always laws and stuff where there's unintended consequences that weren't intended, and obviously when we make rule changes, similar things can happen. So that's kind of the rule with that.
Okay, so let's speak about the editing thing right now. As you're on Loyal's team on the Wings, for everybody who actually watched the full podcast, I did reach out to Loyal after not thinking that he put in the Discord his kid with talking about him being a Leafs fan. So yes, I did get Loyal's approval to put his kid in there. He said he didn't care. So everybody knows I'm not just some fucking creep. I didn't find him on Facebook or anything yet. He knows about it. He saw it. He watched the whole thing. So, just want to throw that out there for people. So,
anyway, so let's get into the rosters.
Okay, first let's go with Colorado. Okay, I don't think they had a bad draft. I mean, looking at their rosters. No. Actually, let's bring it up right now. There was one trade, and it does involve them. So,
okay,
it was what is it? Reminisky?
It was Robinski for its pastry and its Epcot. Yeah.
So they gained, I think it's a fair trade.
It was invalid for invalid.
Yeah. So.
If you were following the Discord. No. We're Q&S Dub is our guy working on the Discord bot, and he's been making some really awesome adjustments to our Discord and making things look really pretty and finding ways to make things look great. So I gotta give him a shout out there. So he was trying a bot out in the first trade. It was interesting, and I still was trying to mentally figure out why it did what it did. But only person who could see, I couldn't even see the names of the guys in the trade when the bot did. Obviously, I'd seen the trade, but the bot's message, I couldn't read it. However, Gautier, the owner of the Avalanche, could actually see it. So I'm wondering if it's something like the players on the team or people with that role could see the names. I don't know. Anyway,
no, I saw it in the Discord. That's how I knew that there was a trade. I mean, I'm not in, I'm in just the media chat for everybody knows in the general chat. So I'm not in the staff or team management or anything. So for me to find that out without asking you is. Everybody else should be able to find it. This is right in the Google Docs. So, but I mean, I like that. It's going to make us more professional in a different sense if we can get it figured out where everybody can, see exactly what happens. It's ooh, I got traded. It's trade deadline day. The ticker on the bottom, make everybody feel special that they got traded, or if I get that off if they did. But that's a good enough trade.
So who do you think won that trade?
I'm a fan of two for ones, to be honest. As long as if they're two players that play together or anything like that, or they got chemistry with the other team. I mean,
well, and those guys do. You can see it's in their name. Their names almost match. So they wanted to play. Obviously, it's not a friends league, but they were saying, "Hey, if you move us, try and move us together." They wanted to play together, type things. And I think everyone knows that they're a tandem. Just you can tell in the name. They'll play. I've seen them play separately, but. It's just one of those things the management decided they wanted to, hey, keep the boys together. They're not my boys anymore. They're the other team's boys, but try and give them up 2 for 1. And it was pretty similar stats. I would compare the guys. So it was really just a straight 2 for 1, 2 of the same skill level for one of the same skill level. So
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's still early, so it's not he was tanking it, playing like shit. So let's see how it plays out. Could be a favorite for him.
Yeah.
All right. So who's? I mean, all right. I got to put this out there. They had the first overall pick. They did not fuck up. They picked God's Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
People that don't know is TBNK. So he's an unreal player. Unreal fucking player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and overall, so I won't spend too much time on each roster, but big highlights there. Obviously, they've got some NHLers on their management, and then they have Teal and I'm God's Jesus, and then Pearson's pretty good, and then Lefty and Chara on defense. I don't specifically know their goalie. I know a lot of goalies. That's not one I know. Jacadis, but I have a feeling.
I don't know.
I have a feeling.
So
I have a feeling that they know who he is. So that's looking pretty solid there. If you look, they've got Juju Rags and Monfist in their training camp.
Yep.
So obviously they're gonna have to have someone else play a little bit. Excuse me, some of those games because Jacob, man, everyone's names are so hard to say. Let me see, Jacadis. And can't play all the games. So those guys filling in from the TC, that's going to help a lot. And then they actually have some decent pickups in Dry 29, Pistol Pete, and Ergy Bergy.
Bear Cheese too isn't a bad player.
Oh, and Bear Cheese, yeah. Actually, I literally just got done playing against him. Yeah.
So, all right.
But yeah, that's a very solid roster. So let's keep on moving from that.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
All right.
Hey, it's your Red Wings.
So we'll keep it in the rivalry, right? Colorado, Detroit, boom.
Who's going to be Patty Wan, Mike Vernon?
Yeah, Korea, who I guess egoed us again, doesn't want to be on the pod. Right?
No. Like I said, this podcast is my fault. I didn't speak to you at first to see what day you can record, and I got fucking drunk and decided to post at 4 o'clock in the morning my time.
Speaking of which, what are you drinking?
Right now I've only got Bud Light.
We are keeping it simple as fuck right now. We'll do something crafty. We have something craftier next time.
As I told Kraken, like within my hometown, within 12 hours, I've had people get somebody who I went to school with got in a head-on collision, passed away, and then I offered to DD my brother tonight, and the place is like 2 minutes down the road from me, but there was a pedestrian hit and killed. So 34, like 27, 34 within 12 hours. So it's a shitty thing to talk about, So we always got to be thankful for the days that we're here, and make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them. Yeah. So, I mean, even though we're keeping it basic on that sad topic, that's not top five. But so let's go with so the guest I almost had Gauthier from Colorado.
Oh, we should have Gauthier and Korea going at it.
No. So I almost had Gauthier, but he did not have Zoom downloaded yet, and he wanted to be prepared to see how it worked before everything. So, plus, this is supposed to be a short one. Cool. So let's go back. How do you think your team is?
Well, first off, I'm going to give the shout to Korea that he still owes us an interview, and then I'll get into my team. All right. So taking a look, we already talked about the management. Obviously, the weak spot there is Korea himself, but he did a good job bringing on the squad. So take a look. Oshie is at the top, and then, I don't know why he's at the top of the roster there. He wasn't the highest draft pick they had.
I think they just did by position, like left, because I noticed everything was left wing, then center, and right wing. So
no, because I filled it out initially, and I went in order. So I don't know. I think Panarin may have edited it after me. So I know that I didn't have my laptop with me last weekend, and so I was doing it all on my phone. So I did the names one night, the positions the next night, and the salaries was going to take way too much without having a second screen. So but it's changed since I put it in there. Anyway, whatever. So the actual top draft pick there is Haxby, and obviously that's going to be a key draft pick there.
It is. Depends on how drunk he gets. He showed me up on fucking getting drunk. on game days. If you can wind
Fair
up.
enough.
But hey, thanks to whoever is the one that actually did fill in the roster. He did have a name change. So thank you for whoever and put in parentheses Haxby. So
that would have been him. Actually, but you know what? That may have been that way on the sign up thing because I think when I copy pasted it, I saw that. So on the actual sign up form, I think he may have done that.
Haxby's a right wing. Let me check this shit right now. All right, if you want to keep going. Oh yeah, it is.
So so thank Haxby for not hiding is really what it comes down to, because he could have easily, who the fuck is the woozy face, and now that I know that his gaming drunk tactics, maybe that's what that's in reference. I've been trying to figure that one out. But then you got Tixky, which I think is Glitchy, was his old name. So, but that was a while ago. He's been TXSKE for a while, and then. On defense, Cavi, Scyther, and then General Jobo. Obviously, we discussed his.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to bring that up. That's.
I will. We discussed the staff. We got to make the actual adjustment. I was just waiting to make sure that the final solution was there, but it likely should not have been in the draft at 2 games, and so he will be moved to a TC spot and permanent TC for the season. And that's basically just because. It says in the rule book can be removed from the league for that, for not having minimum avail. So, we missed him and he was still in the draft. I'll take the blame for that because I was doing some of the going through the list, and I think I thought to myself, I need to go back through and make sure none of them
were less than 4. Pay attention to the podcast last week.
Yeah.
I fucking brought it up.
But so that said, Korea Loyal still drafted him with 2. So kind of like a. If he didn't want that, or if he knew he was getting, that's fine. And Jobo should be worth it as a draft pick at 2. But the thing is, it's not supposed to be the case. It makes it weird if you try to trade him. It makes it weird all the way around. So the easiest thing to do is if you can only play 2 games, I've talked to him, he's working, then just go to TC where you don't need to make minimums and you can play your 2 games that you're maxed out due to real life and just be permanent TC for the season. And your avail is what it is on that. And then beyond that, he's still tradable as a TC, just no matter where he goes, he's a TC. And he's got 2 games avail. And we'll just hold it to that. Looking at the goalies, Korea seems to think we have the best goalies in the league. I appreciate that. And we got Trips Aces, me, and then we actually have Parrot, who I don't know personally, but I guess he came over from PSN. It might even be an NHLer on PSN, but I don't think his avail's all that great. So that was why they held off until TC to pick him up, or until the TC draft. And then looking through the RAs, we're gonna have some fun with BYU Caps fan. He's always actually, I think he may be chat banned. Let's see.
It's always fun
Hoop
talking about somebody getting chat banned.
Right. Hoop was solid, but decent RAs. There's definitely teams that got probably a better RA through the RA picks that Aces did over the weekend. I recognize Brandon Illy's name and Stamkos and Carey's. Stamkos has got a little thing on his A, so he's hard to find. But I don't know if I think we may have had trouble actually getting him to go, so that he may not be on the team in the end if he's not actually around, because we had trouble just finding him in the first place. Yeah, but not nearly as strong of a RA and TC pool as Colorado has. So, but
no, it's not bad. All right, let's go down to the next.
I'll give a shout out to Cat because I mentioned the rest of the goalies and JT Hocking, but Cat specifically because he's been active in chat and getting some good looks. All right, on to the next ones.
Okay, it's the Rangers. So that's Dempsey, AT, and Earth.
All right. Well, I played a lot with those guys. Solid squad. Definitely know each other real well. Whether they have actual plays or just good chemistry where they kind of know what they want to do. That's always going to be a good start. And I'm sure we talked about that start last week. You want to go through the draft?
I mean, the way that I look at that team is Dempsey, Earth, they're always trying to fucking play with trying to get people in their teams to play. So it's whatever league they're in, they try and do that. Okay, I mean, Hones they brought in. Trash Pan is not a bad pick for second round.
Second round Trash Pan, yeah, he's definitely normally a first round pick. So that's a great pickup.
It's a steal. I mean, it's not.
I'll give.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'll give a shout out to Fighter. Actually, so I didn't see it on the roster. I'll have to double check. I thought Scyther was on. Fighter and Scyther play together a lot, and I just played with them tonight. Both of them real solid chemistry with each other. So get this. So Fighter is on the Rangers. I thought Scyther was on Detroit. But we were playing this game tonight, and we should. I might have to bring this up with staff because this seems to be a common thing. But evidently, the elite controllers are having a situation where, at least with the goalies, it will stop working, and your goalie's stuck for the rest of the game.
Oh,
and
sucks.
So we're gonna have to come up with
much. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I think someone may have said maybe it's not just the elite controllers. I know I had it happen to me a couple nights ago, and then again tonight. The first time we were up 2-1, and it happens between periods. You come back from the period, you can't move your guy. And I went to take a piss, so I thought maybe like, okay, it's because I was out of the room, but the other people said it happened to them too. And then tonight I was sitting right there, it happened anyway. So 2-1, my team holds the team to 2 shots. 1 goes in, 2-2 OT, my team scores, we win. Tonight, I was fucking around with it. I was playing with Fighter and Scyther on defense. Between first and second period, we're up 1-0. And sure enough, it happens again. Now it's like you got 2 whole periods, and we're playing a solid team. So they held them to no shots for 8 minutes in the second period. Solid defense, and I think they had 57 hits in the game. The hits were 57-1. This game was like an hour ago. So like it was ridiculous.
But horses running around.
Yeah. So they did all that. They held them to no shots, and somehow I was playing around with the second controller, plugging it in, trying to turn one off, turn it on, and all of a sudden it started moving again. I wish I knew exactly what thing I was playing around with that brought my controller back to life. But I was able to get it back to life with 12.5 minutes left in the second, and we wrote it out for a 1. Actually, I think you got an empty net goal, so 2-0 win. And but those guys are solid. I played a few games with them yesterday. You put them with good forwards, which they're going to have on this squad, and you've got a good setup. So I definitely want to give them a shout out, and I think that's going to be some good defense there, Fighter at least with the Rangers. So you got 40.
Dempsey will pair himself with him, to be honest.
Yeah. Well,
somebody needs
exactly.
to Dempsey's ass since he didn't fucking draft me. Asshole.
Well,
I'm kidding.
You got Earth AT, Hones Rule, Trash Panda, and Seal McCarr is their first pick. I don't personally know him, but I've seen him around. So I'm assuming being picked over Trash Panda, definitely a solid player. I definitely recognize the name. Didn't do the research to see exactly where he was. I have to assume he's an NHLer. And so you got like 5 solid forwards there. So then you can put Fighter, solid. Yeah, and Dempsey. So you've got and Wannabe Callie's solid too. So you've got 2 solid lines of defense. They're definitely probably one really, really solid that you can put. Maybe even put that with a second line of forwards, and you've got 2 solid lines. I mean, until you have to go game 7 line. So you got a shutdown defense you can put with your second line forwards, and then you got a really good second line defense you put with your team that's going to put up numbers.
It's I think you've got 1A and 1B. Like there's
basically. And you look at the goalies. Primo was their third 3 straight rounds. They picked goalies in 3 straight rounds. And so here's the thing: they get this lineup, and they also drafted 3 goalies.
Primo, I just want to say, I'm in the NHL. Who the fuck are you? Yeah, you're the 3rd goalie they picked. I'm sorry, bud. Fuck, get your ego out of here. So, toxic asshole.
Fair enough. Hawks fan solid. Protagonist is solid. So you got solid goalies in there. They were able to put that lineup together while drafting 3 goalies, which means that they basically were set to go. I mean, you don't normally see teams. Them and Philly drafted 3 goalies. They were smart and didn't draft them in the first round, second round, but we'll get back to that later.
I mean, they took them at the fucking rounds you're supposed to. This is no shot against any goalie. Like,
no,
it's not like it's not like you're fucking Andre Vasilevsky in real life. Like,
I'm a goalie, and I'm gonna tell you,
it still fucks goalies.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, as a goalie, if I get drafted high, which has happened a couple of times, I know I'm fucked for the season because that
I
means
think
that
I
my
got drafted
management.
too high.
But that no. And the reason I say that is it doesn't matter. Like okay, talk to Aces. He's just tell you time he was drafted number 1 overall and had a great season. Whatever. Like it may happen here and there, but for the most part, if you get drafted high, that means that they drafted you over good defense and good forwards. And I will tell you right now that there's enough goalie talent that the difference between the players is slim enough that EA will make a bigger difference in the outcome, whereas your actual forwards and defense will make a bigger difference than EA will. So that's why goalies are just not typically drafted early. So again, they draft them in the right rounds, and I personally, as a goalie, prefer to be drafted later by.
This is this is not a shot at any fucking goalie. You know, I just got to make fun of Primo because he's kept saying he was in NHL, and he like you talked to him or you messaged him, like he rubbed me off the wrong way just reading up on fucking main chat before the draft and shit. So I just gotta fucking take my little jabs. We'll have to try and get him on here just so he can explain.
Sure, that's what we should really do. I mean, he's got pride, he's got ego. Like it's shell. There's a lot of it. It happens. All right, let's look at the RAs or the TCs. So TC draft, they picked up all around beauty, super cheaps, Skip Dingletalk, all guys I've seen around, and I think they're pretty solid players. The super cheap
Viper's not bad. I like dive up, Viper, orbit saves. So
Army, I played with him. He'll hold his own. Orbit save, like you mentioned, pesky bugbear. I've seen him around, just in and out of chance. I don't know if I've seen him in the game.
The way I take their TC right now is a lot of they've been around. You know the names. Nothing like sticks out crazy.
No,
but could be good. Could be good. This is not a shot at any of you guys there. But
that's exactly what you need to fill in the gaps when you got a solid first 2 lines.
Yeah.
Right. And I must say this: if you're a TC guy on those teams, or on New York Rangers, they've got 2 solid lines. So when they're not available, able to fill in people, they'll put you in. But I would expect that
if you want to impress them, those guys play all the time. So reach out, dude, they don't give a shit as long as you build chemistry with somebody. Hey, they'll play you.
They let me play goalie for them. They let me play defense for them.
So, they let me play all the time with them. I just keep making fun of Dempsey. So
yeah. Sweet, solid team. And again, those TC guys, you'll get your chances, but I would expect like
that should
those first 2 lines,
really
you're gonna be filling in when they're not available.
I say any team, any player on TC, just literally sit there and try and get people to play outside the league. It's gonna always happen, no, but just reach out and be like, hey, anybody playing? Like, I'm down to play. Like, and then even ask like, hey, what can I do to get main roster? Or what, who do you think if I play, who do you think I fit with? Because sometimes people have a chance, like trying a game and stuff like that, better competition, like, say with you, your fucking top line comes out, you get a TC in there. Let's see, can they handle playing against a guy that's been on HL? So.
Yeah, well, and so what do they got? They got 2, they got 6-4. Yeah, they basically have 2 lines in their management and the regular roster. And then they got the 3 goalies in there. But 3 goalies on roster can get tight too, because you could easily have them in TC and fill in other ways. So is there an opportunity there where they could move someone and potentially be able to use one of those TCs? That could be your chance to move up as a TC. I mean, I'm not trying to cause locker room struggles. Don't go hating on those goalies trying to get moved. But
who actually listens to fully what we say? It's only certain people. Like when they say good podcasts, like I reached out to Trump. I'm like, did you listen to the whole thing? Like, because when we talked about like the putting Loyal's kid in there, I'm like, I go, fuck. I didn't think about it at first, but I'm like, wait, this is actually in like the Discord chat. And I resaid, and then I reached out to Trump. I was like, hey, I gave him a call before I fucking posted to, for anybody to see it. And he said he's fine with it. That's my kid. Yeah. So, he was all cool with it. So that's, I asked him, like, you listened to the whole thing, so you saw this part. He's like, yes. So
what I wanted to do there really is give the TC guys, there's going to be potential chances to move up. I would say they got 2 solid lines though, so that you just got to be as realistic as you can about that. But go out and put your best foot forward, and the moves happen. Earth is always looking to make trades when he's in management. So
Wishes you can trade Dempsey from times. I wouldn't blame him. Fuck, I didn't carry him.
All right, let's move on to Seattle.
Okay, Seattle. You know.
All right, so we'll start with the management group. I know I'm sure, again, like we talked about last time, but Pat Noah, solid goalie. Captain Paul, solid. And then their captain, Tasty Cakes, I don't know him. I think he played against him once. Was decent, and I don't know Lundin all that well in terms of the game. Obviously, I know him from the chat, but that's about it. But that's a solid start. Let's talk their draft. Do you want to go ahead?
I mean, you got your first two picks are the two brothers, Taglia brothers, Gopher-Selly and Taglia himself. And you can get anybody that plays left wing with them and will play all the time. It's good chemistry right there. Even if you throw Taglia to the left wing and you throw Cy Young with him there, it's fucking good.
Cy Young's a solid player too. I
Played
a lot with him.
He is one fight fucker. And Taglia too. You get those guys fucking joking around, having a good time. It's all that matters.
Yep. And then round 3, you got Paha Degree. Solid defense. Obviously, normally plays with Earth and Crew. I played.
But he can play anywhere too. So I mean, that's a good utility player for you.
Yep. He plays. I've seen him play left wing. I've seen him play both sides on defense, and I think that's going to be a great pick there in the 3rd round. Maybe potential trade bait to his friends. But no, I think he's pretty excited to be there, and they're excited to have him. So you're pretty good there with your first 3 or 4 picks. Looking into 5, 6, and 7. I don't know XX215. So that's 5, 6. I don't. Oh, 6 is the goalie, JTE12. Solid goalie. Like literally, I think he's got to be. I didn't look him up on LG, but he's got to be NHL or AHL. I did play a game against him a night or 2 ago. Absolute goalie battle.
And Tribes draft rankings, he had him 4th. So
okay, yeah. So absolute goalie battle I had against him. I think it ended up being like another 2-1 game, 20 shots on each side. And I think it was OT, and he ended up getting the win over me. And just like, I'll say this, he was a very cocky goalie, kind of playing around a little bit, having fun, and then making big saves. So definitely was doing a net, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is towards the top of the league in the end of the season. Just in the 1 game I played against him, it was a super sweaty game all around. It was a lot of fun, and he got the dub. So I want to give him a shout out to that, and I think that's a very solid goalie. And this is, again, comes down to where but not picked in the 1st round, right? Like this is right where he should be in round 6.
Yeah, I was going to say 6th round. It's not bad. It's a great pick for a goalie.
Yeah.
The salary helps too. Like, you want to get more players. So, I mean, if you drafted a goalie higher, you're going to fuck yourself on unless you can get a good trade for,
And no one's going to trade for that goalie. Like, if you're having trouble with him or anything like that, if you put $5 million on a goalie, they're guys are going to want their $5 million top guy too. They're not going to want to be sitting there locked down with so much money. Yeah. Is there a reason why? Let me see here. Double check the salaries. Yeah, I'll have to double check. I guess I don't double check the salaries.
So, I guess speaking of that right now, I mean, I'm looking at their TC. Was Seattle one of the only teams that didn't get a late sign up? All right.
Well, so we'll get in that in a second. Okay, so now I see a couple others. So I'm not sure the difference between the 55 million salary and the or 5.5 million and a 5 million salary. I'll have to look that up. I don't have the salary structure memorized. No,
it's on the bottom here. I got it.
Oh shit! Check that out. 2nd round, 55. You're right. 5.
Yeah.
3rd round, 4. So then why is
the captain?
Degrees 4. Captain's all a 5.
Yeah.
So okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's the difference in that. All right. Cool. That makes more sense. All right. So moving on to your question, so we'll finish up. Jason, I don't know, and Panarin as staff. I don't know if I've played against him, but I'll give him a shout out. He's staff. He does a lot of hard work. I'm sure he's been around a bit, so I'm sure he'll hold his own. And then Q&S Dub, I already gave him a shout out for his hard work. I have not played against him though. Going into the RA, so your question. So the RAs were picked all together from one big pool. So the late signups were included in that, but they weren't. Not all the RAs were late signups. Some of the RAs were people who weren't drafted in either the regular draft or the TC
Or
draft.
TC, okay.
So you end up with this pool of mixed people. So here's one downside of it is that you have a mixed pool that's being put out there, some of which can't be moved and some can. So some teams end up with more and less of them. So that's an interesting thing that came up. I don't know if it's even been discussed yet until you brought it up with me. I haven't seen anyone mention it. I did notice that, and at that point it's kind of said and done.
I mean,
but they are TCs.
The only reason I'm asking is because the salary difference. You got the fucking late sign up that's at $3 million, and a regular just RA is $500,000.
The salary doesn't matter unless they are.
No, I'm saying
so
for like a team that's trying to trade for him.
Point, but
yeah, like a team.
Yeah,
like Bergie.
Well, so those guys, but he can't be traded. That's the whole thing. Because it's a late sign-up, so it only matters to bring the roster. And the whole point there is, a little bit obviously, if you not so much hiding, but that was, I'm sure that went into a little the thought initially. Those two thoughts probably were separated, but in terms of the salary and then the not moving. But that said, it's more that these are guys who are probably roster guys. Usually, a lot of the late signups tend to be top tier type guys who are signing up a little later in the season, and so we're trying to.
They can still get called up, though, right? They can still get called up. They just
can't still get called up, and that salary doesn't matter until they get called up. And so that's the thing is a lot of these guys are guys that would be top tier. So we kind of went with an average between the top salary guys. So I mean, like let's say Haxby signed up, 2 weeks into the season, and now he's a $500,000 salary. That doesn't make sense. So at the same time, you get some no-name signs up, and him being $5 million salary doesn't make sense either. So that 3.5 is that middle ground to make up for that player could be of either skill level. And then when he does get called up to roster, he isn't being way too cheap for his worth or way too expensive on the other end.
It's just a cheap fucker. Just get him a fucking bottle of wine. and he'll show you pictures of his fucking toes.
Yeah. So okay, there are RAs. ATS Diesel, decent. Josie, I've seen him around, decent. Really, Pharaoh's been around a lot. Plank is a solid TC there, and then the rest of them are mainly names I've just seen in Discord. Cash Money, Dr. Sauce. But the biggest pickup there is probably Diesel, Josie, and Plank is probably the biggest. I could see Plank being a roster. I'm a little surprised he's not, but he was CC drafted. Well, so
he's probably like somebody like I personally don't know who he is. It's not a shot at him. I really just don't know who the fuck you are. So I mean, people see play against him. You might unless he's a lefty or some shit like that. So
yeah, I know he's played with Aces quite a bit. But yeah, I think Seattle's got a good thing going for them there. We'll talk about rankings and whatnot later. I do like how they're looking at least at the start. All right. Are you ready for Columbus?
Yes, sir. I mean, that management group's pretty good management group there.
Yep. So there's some of
CPL Crease and Alpha X Fallen.
Yep.
This is gonna make me think. I think like when I was talking about them last week, Alpha did play a little bit of goalie. Unless
yes.
So is he signed up for the goalie? I mean, if not, still that's a
no. I think he's in.
But they did
the A or the N right now as a forward. I think so. I think I would take his skill set there. Okay. So if I had a goalie, here's a good example. He's not in the league right now, but Bonesy. Everyone knows Bonesy. I think he is a goalie first who no longer plays goalie, and now he's an NHL forward. And if I had a choice now, if I was going to put Bonesy on a team, unless I was short a goalie for a night and was going to forfeit, he's not playing goalie because he is such a good forward. And like we talked about before, you can have the best goalie in the world and EA can still fuck him, whereas a forward will make a bigger difference.
I mean, that's the biggest thing is, we got to harp on it, is if you're a TC or any roster player, and you know you're not at max games, or if it's early in the week, don't forfeit a fucking game. Just play it. Like, unless you're getting your shit pumped in, and then fucking say, hey, is there any way we can do something to change on this? I'd rather fucking play a game and you get your ass kicked. But I'll give you more credit for showing up than saying, oh, fuck it. We know we're gonna get our dicks punched in. Let's just forfeit it, boys. So
Yep. Okay, so like I was saying, Alpha is solid. And then they picked Tricky first round. He's NHLer. Then they got Mancy, very solid round 2 pick. And so they've got a good start there. And then we start to get into names that I don't know as well. Papa Smoke on defense.
He was, and I didn't know that name, but I also looked at the draft ranking of tribes thing.
Okay.
So he was just right below me, actually. So
you had to put that in there, didn't you? Just one up Papa Smoke, just like that.
I mean,
huh?
he just won up me because he got fucking drafted before I did.
There you go. And then
So
let's see. So after Papa Smoke 4, Selna. I think I recognize the name. I don't know exactly where. I think he's a solid player, but I don't remember.
Is Dona just playing forward this one, or I know he's played goalie before, so that could be one. Maybe they could try and switch on Cardona.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Cardona in round 7. Yeah, he's a good backup goalie if you need. But I know he's trying to expand his realm a bit. Like I said, so it's not goalies. There's so many. It's funny. Goalie's an interesting thing. When you're getting into goalie, everyone needs a goalie all the time. But when you're getting into leagues, there's so many goalies. So when you're doing like clubs and stuff, everyone's always searching for goalies. When you get into leagues, there's always way more goalie talent than there is spots. So especially with the minimal difference a goalie can make compared to a forward and a defenseman, a lot of times goalies will expand their realm as much as they can. Usually they're goalies because
I've seen him skate out. He's not a bad player. Like,
yeah. So yeah, I think then that's playing goalie gets a little bit boring with the thumbs sometimes when it's in the offensive zone a lot or things like that too. So it's good to mix it up. It just takes you have to have the thumbs. It's different thumbs. So
my thumbs are only good for doing this.
Boom. That wasn't a fresh one?
No.
You didn't roll that right into popping a new one?
God damn it, you're making me drink quicker. Fine. See, this is what my thumbs are good for. And fucking follow me because I fucking brought it up.
To clarify, did you figure out getting your brother home?
Oh, yeah. I was supposed to go pick up my brother, but I texted him and say, go take the ride. So, yeah.
Got it. So you will not be driving to pick up your brother after down on that.
No.
The beers. Okay. Cool. I just want to make sure
we were
straightforward on that.
See, we thought we were going to have a short podcast, but we somehow fucking managed to just ramble on about stupid shit with no guests.
Right. So here's the deal.
I should have fucking stone cold it. I didn't want to clean that shit up.
You said you need to be responsible, which means that you're not driving so you can drink. Great choice.
I'm literally at my kitchen table, as you guys can see, my fucking cabinets, my fridge, all that shit. So
actually just a background piece of driving a car right now.
The keys are perfect. The fucking Ram truck.
So
fucking throw the girl.
Probably still a better driver than most in California. Anyway, all right, so
every person where I work, shit, I'm in a little corner store and they all don't fucking have their license. They don't have fucking permits. They just drive it like they stole it. I saw a school bus driver the other day outside my.
This is Cali. Half of them are stolen here.
Fuck. I saw like a legit school bus driver, and I was talking with like one of my workers, like unloading shit from my truck. And I go, "Yeah, you know you're in the ghetto when the fucking school bus driver drives it like they stole it." And he started laughing. He goes, "Man, you fucked up for that one."
So let's get back to Columbus. All right, looking quickly through Posted Alone. I know he's solid and been around. Jay's Triple I, solid, been around. but don't know enough about him. And then the goalie, they waited till way late. They picked up Loxley, solid goalie. I've seen him around a lot. I don't know if I've
That's a
played
great
against
pick
him.
for his talent.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like he's played at a pretty high level, so I just have not played against him. And then let's go through the RAs. McHenry or McNeary, I don't know how to say that.
Yep.
That'll be fun in the chat. Yummy or Scarab, probably one of the better names we have in here. I never recognize it. I don't know exactly where from. Xness, I think, is decent. Yeah, Darth Knight for our RA late sign up. I think he has had some higher level games. I looked him up in LG. Beyond that, Playmaker, Berkey, our names I recognize, but we'll see. I don't know enough about them. I think Playmaker's played.
This is what we got to do now.
Level.
There's a lot of people we don't know in the TCs.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have different. Do something stupid to get us talking about you guys.
Yeah,
just do something. Give us some media. I mean, this week, unfortunately, I didn't pay attention to the main chat much. I don't know why. It's just lazy, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to point out names that I've seen around. So if I've seen you around, that means you probably are at least playing a lot and get your name out there that way. So, but if
or
I'm
even
not
fucking just DM me.
Yeah.
Just DM me and say something stupid. Be like, "Oh, you're a fat ass that drinks too much." I'm like, "Yeah, I know I fucking suck. Go ahead and make fun of me. I don't give a fuck."
So here's the deal. See what CNS is really saying. He wants your highlight reels. So send all your highlight reels to CNS.
Dude, all I've been doing at work is just fucking watching Netflix for the past fucking week. Nobody's been in there. I have my headphones on, just fucking watching Netflix and shit. It's like, just fucking send me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll get the people going.
That said, if you have good highlights, send them in so we'll include that shit. Like this season, like, okay, if it's not league related, it could still, if it's interesting enough, we'll include it. If it's league related and it's highlights, we definitely want to include it. But I joke about highlight reels. I laugh because there was a guy a season or two ago that I was, when I was staff, either it was UHL or IOHL, and he was just like, "Here's my saves," and just like someone picked me up and just like maybe salty something or anyway, whatever. And it was just one of these things where it's like you were watching, and we were all watching him like, these are the weakest saves. This is what you're proud of. I laugh, but no.
It'll be like at 5 a.m. if I'm still up drinking, fucking like,
yeah,
my goalie. Just fucking do
but
it.
if you got good shit, send it in. We'd love to see it. So,
I used to play goalie growing up.
But with
hockey, shit.
Like real life or shell?
Yeah, real life. How about, all right, I gotta set up for 1 second. How about, as you were saying, a blue and white team? I'm gonna give the fucking people a fucking credit. There's something like, I got some rare shit here. And I just brought his name up a couple times. All right. How many of you motherfuckers have it's supposed to be Andre Vasilevsky fucking game used rookie stick from when he was in fucking the AHL. And if I was at my parents' house, I have fucking taped up game used rookie camp Kucherov sticks when his number was still 56 compared to 86. So, I mean, if you couldn't tell what team was the one that signed my paychecks for a living, I just gave it up to you now. People are going to say I like fucking brag about it, but I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, I was like, the first time I got my paycheck, it was when Stevie Y was still there. I'm like, do I actually want to cash this? I think his signature's worth more than the check. More than the check.
But that's right. You should be able to get the check back though, like, or especially if you have deposit at mobile or a mobile deposit.
Oh no, this was years ago. This is like fucking before all that shit. So I've been out of the game for a little bit that way. But
so if I'm distracted, I don't know if I mentioned this last podcast, but I'm actually at my friend's bar and the security camera is I get the whole display so I get to see everything that's going on. It's a pretty busy night and so it could be some fun up there. Have to stay at the bar after. Anyway, so that's
nothing wrong with that. Fucking real and deal, buddy.
So actually, as long as we are on the topic, I'm wearing the Kraken jerseys, but I think I might mix it up a little. It goes with the name. But I'll probably mix it up a little bit. And so next week I might be. So I got a stash of jerseys, and it's at my other place. So I might be able to maybe take some votes on what I should wear for the podcast or something like that. So
you said you're a Red Wings fan.
So I got Wings jerseys. I got Wild jerseys. I got obviously the Kraken jersey. I got some random jerseys like from when I was playing youth hockey and shit like that. And then I got some other fun jerseys too. So
I feel like
I
I
have
should
to.
fucking do
But
like
I'll make just
a
topic it. I might do a poll and just do a topic. Like it'll be like Red Wings, Wild, and then I'll pick from the bunch. I'll pick a jersey. So it'll be like Red Wings, Wild, personal jersey, maybe what other teams I've got,
I might have
or
to.
like special weird jersey.
Oh wait, you're in San Diego. Fuck. Might right?
I'm in Sacramento.
Oh, Sacramento. Fuck.
NorCal.
I don't know why the fuck
Sacramento.
I thought
What's
San
that?
Diego. I knew
I
you were
was in
in
San
LA.
Diego. Fuck. No, because I was in San Diego last weekend visiting my brother. And dude,
That's
place
why.
is
Okay, I remember
amazing.
you said that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. No, dude. Oh my God, San Diego. If I've already like talked about it, like if I'm gonna move somewhere, I like California. It's getting a little bit right now, but like
I don't know what's
San
worse,
Diego,
New
the
York or
weather's like
fucking California
perfect.
with all their fucking taxes and shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I don't have to worry about that with my job. I don't know if that's out there, but I'm military, so I don't pay I don't deal with the politics of the state. I'm not actually a California resident. So I mean, I deal with the stupid rules if there's a stupid rule. Like some of the. So here's a stupid. This is way off topic. We are going. Well, I'll go into it. So in California, my trucks are limited to 50 miles per hour. So they all sit in the right lane. So that means all roads are 2 lanes. Everyone else sits in the left lane, which creates the right lane being the passing lane, which is completely backwards. So that's why I say when I deal with stupid rules like that, yeah, there's like rules that like, okay, I get what you want the safety, but now you have trucks going slower than the speed of traffic, which creates a speed differential,
Talking
which
like
is more
pickup
dangerous
trucks or
than the
tractor
truck
trailer.
going like tractor trailer.
Oh,
So
okay.
like, but actually, it's like anything with more than 2 axles. But it's stupid. Even like I was driving like I don't know what I was moving something or whatever, and I had a big vehicle, and I was like, I think I'm technically supposed to drive this at 55 miles per hour, but this is like you can't. It's frustrating, and like it honestly makes it more of a hazard on the road. And I would love to see the numbers before and after they put that stupid rule in. But when I say stupid rules, that's what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say, like New York State took from California, the no plastic bags, or you got to buy bags at all the grocery stores. And shit
Yeah.
now. Oh
Yep.
man, it just started this year, and like all my customers are like, "Oh fuck you!" Like I work in a little corner store, family-owned corner store, like convenience store, and they're like, "Oh, it's for grocery stores, not corner stores." I'm like, technically, we're a grocery store, so fuck you. Like, oh fuck that. So
Cool. We should get back
yes.
to the Ottawa Senators. That might have been the best tangent we've been on yet. And that's fun. I know.
We're
So if you watch,
real guys.
if you watch Spit and Chicklets and you see Biz go way off on like some tangent and whatnot, they're like, "How the hell did we get here?"
Dude,
Well,
I actually
honestly,
met Biz before. Like,
Yeah?
I was working like the Can-Am. They had like a little like hockey, like up in Lake Placid. I worked their camp and everybody's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And it's like it was during the time that I was working for the Crunch. So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a equipment manager for the Crunch." And it's like all these, college athletes. We had Utica College head coach at the time, a couple players, and actually one of them, one of the girls, they call her Vegas, but Megan Myers, she puts on the U.S. women's national roller team. So and then with Biz trying to say I wasn't old enough at the time, didn't have my fucking fake on me, so trying to go to the bar, sit down, I'm like, oh fuck, city isn't good enough for me, but
yeah. So you see them go off on a tangent. I was like, but they always try to bring it back, and I guess I will eventually try to bring it back. But I might encourage the tangent a little bit too. That's half the fun, right? keeps it mixed up. Keep some topics going. All right, but seriously, back to the Ottawa Senators are the next team on the list. So let's talk about them. Jay Cush owning.
Got some management. He got some management. He texted me after the fucking podcast dropped that he got management. So
yeah, he's with Darren Hayes, Texas Puck Iceman, and they picked up Webby 19 as the captain.
I don't know shit about anybody other than Jay's.
I know Jay. Jay's solid. I know he plays a lot, so I know he knows people. I know that's going to be the probably concern is a lot of guys when they don't know the management team, that would be there. So it's your team. So I'll let you start it off. And that would be the biggest concern that I
This isn't my team.
Go ahead. Oh wait,
This isn't,
you were
nope.
Ottawa.
Yeah, no,
damn.
I was Ottawa last year. Remember he
Oh,
or Jake
yeah,
Cush
yeah.
was he Ottawa last? I don't fucking
No, I
know.
think he was Ottawa last year. Yeah.
Okay.
So
But I
anyway,
mean, you can't go wrong. He did get his first 2 picks, or his first 3 picks. He really cannot say he went wrong.
No,
Volcom
and so the
and Verona, Delisi.
yeah. So the trick there is to get Volcom to buy into some of the talent that's there because they do have talent. They got those first 3 picks.
Help because he's got Verona. If
yeah.
Well, and Tribe is going to be and I don't know if he's going to, but just because he was with Jay's coach last season, he knows that Tribe's going to help him out. He's going to tell him, hey, if you want my opinion on some shit, because he was management, when I got paid for Tribe. So, that's a safe pick with Tribe for that position. The third pick. Verona can show up. That's the problem they have in Chicago. It's not a bad player at all. And he will help.
And they got aces there in that.
Yeah,
aces and Natsu.
All right, so I gotta give up. So the person that was last week in the pod that said looking for TC depth role was Rams.
Yeah.
He joined the Seattle chat. Because I didn't join all the Discords, but he joined it. And it's just looking for TC depth role. That's fucking great. Shout out to you, Rams. Then fucking Tribe fucking blows you up saying you're one of the top 5 at your position. So
yeah, I mean, I played with Ramos before. We've been on some rough and tumble teams together. But I played with Ramos before. Solid guy. Defense. He'll hold his own there. And then beyond that, CPK Tryhard's pretty good. And I know Zerke's been around. I don't remember all the details of him and Showtime. Showtime's definitely, I think, a pretty good late pick. Let's go through their
goalies, with aces and Natsu. Natsu can play goalie and defense,
No, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I already mentioned that, but aces is solid goalie.
Oh, sorry, I fucking zoned out for a second. I thought you were going.
It was as you were talking about Ramos, or Rams. I just call him Ramos. So Ramos is West, and that's part of why I played with him a bit. Golden Aces and King Natsu are solid defense, and Natsu can step out. So you actually have some real good talent there. I know that that's one of those things where people are not so sure, but I'm looking at you guys together and you got some stuff going. I don't know if you have 2 full lines that you have on other teams or on the Rangers, but you do have. I'll put this way: you don't have 1A, 1B. You have 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. Their TC isn't bad at all.
TC is solid. So I've seen Iceberg around, but going through the biggest name I've seen in there is getting an NHL guy in Bar Down Brad. And I've played against him a couple times with a super sweaty OT game with Bones and Dowdy about a week ago, and we played him again last night. We didn't have the same lineup, so we got lit. But he is a very solid TC. I would expect him to move up to roster, and you're going to be filling up some.
You can't
bring him up to roster. He can bring him up to roster. You can't trade him. So I'd see bringing him up to roster, and you're getting close to those 2 full lines.
I can even see over Viking or Viking, whatever. What is it? Viking. Yeah. It's not a bad defenseman either. So
I think Ilvisin's fine. And Ismerda is solid. I played with him before. So you've got some good talent there. That's a decent team. We'll get back to our rankings, but I like what I'm seeing.
I like what I'm seeing too. And honestly, Jays, reach out to Tribe. You were with him last season. He's going to give you honest opinions. If he doesn't want it, tell Tribe to fuck off. Tell him he kept losing me in Cup Pong and iMessages game. But I mean, hey, thanks to Tribe, because I wasn't available. So he did that quick little, draft who he thought were the top players. So shout out for him. And even hopefully this podcast gets recorded the way it's supposed to, like the split screen. Like I see you right now. This is how it was. But when I uploaded it, somehow it fucked up just to the speaker. And Glizzy did reach out and say, "This is how you do this." So I sent him all my Snapchats and shit. So this is what I need. This. So even though they're not media with us right now, they are still trying to look out for the product. So cheers, to the boys.
Cheers. All right, let's move to Philly.
Okay, Philly.
Said no one ever. Speaking of places you want to live. Sorry,
actually,
that went way over your head.
I've been to Philly. They got
a
they got a sick little brewery. Actually, fun story. With my job that I had, not anymore. I met Radko Gudas while he was there. So I was at the Stadium Series game.
Oh yeah.
Philly versus Pittsburgh.
Oh.
And of course, Gudas had gotten suspended. But he hooked us up with some sick ass seats. I paid for them.
Yeah.
But I was, oh man, I gotta pull this up on my phone right now. Like the fucking seats were on. He's suspended. He's really good friends with Michael Neuwirth. And so I was drinking before the Stadium Series game, Radko Gudas, his dad, Leo, who's a fucking Olympian and shit like that. Michael Neuwirth. We go to I can't even remember what the fucking brewery is. But they had Gudas had a beer named after him. And he's like, yeah, Carter Hart's not even old enough, but he's like, he comes in with me and they serve him all the time. Now Carter Hart's old enough, but oh shit, where the fuck? I mean, talk about unreal beauties. Radko Gudas was suspended. Okay, I had the ticket over there. I'm too far away, but you fucking bastard. That's a sick. I kept that ticket, and it's
that's awesome.
Bumps are right here and shit. We're unreal.
So you still have the ticket somewhere?
Yeah, I have a ticket far away. It wasn't as close to where I had the Vasilevsky.
How many of you? Oh yeah.
These were my seats, no Zoom.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And legitimately, to my right was I have a fucking good video of the scrum where they thought that Wayne Simmons went up on Dumoulin. But so Gudas had gotten suspended for I can't remember how much, 50,000, and it was a group of us, group of my buddies. I reached out to him hey, can you get us the tickets? Thinking he's gonna play there. He goes and picks up the tab. Still, he just got suspended fucking 70K, 80K, and for all my buddies that had never met him before, and we're oh, you're gonna love him. He's a good guy, good personality. He yelled at one kid that we got in there in this place with a fake ID. He's like, yeah, you want to see my fucking ID? He showed a picture of my brother's one. Gudas says, if you ever pull out money again, trying to pay, pitching what he thought he drank and ate, he's gonna beat the shit out of him. He's like, man, I just met you fucking an hour ago. You're trying to beat the shit out of him. And you just were suspended for the game. So, I mean, shout out to my boy Radko Gudas with the Flyers. Now he's with the Panthers, but unreal beauty. I mean, I wish there was a way that if we did not record so late at night to bring in this league.
Well, we can plan around this.
No. But I'm saying it's hard. Remember how I was talking with you about imagine if we could do this, bring in real life hockey and shit, and I could get some good guests, but it's just so hard.
So I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's definitely playing Hey. I think Nelly right now. And it's just it's just going. It's hilarious. I'm watching the screen, so if I'm a bit distracted, it's the bass got turned. I can feel the bass in the chair I'm sitting in. So anyway, that's Nelly in the background. Shout out. That's your intro song for tonight. So Philly. I'm gonna say I got two things from the thing we're saying. One, I partied in Philly couple times real good. I had some friends that actually moved a couple blocks from me now, but they were living in Philly for a bit, and they took me out and showed me amazing ass time. And that city actually knows how to party. Downside of that city, the stadiums are all nowhere near downtown, and they're all like
Dude, the players,
congregated in a massive parking lot.
yeah.
And
It was, I mean, it's good. I mean,
doesn't-
if
I haven't
you
been to a
went-
game there, so you can't
no,
talk too much shit.
you went into the players can't go there. They can't go into that little fucking bar. What the hell is it called? Like all
Is there a bar there?
it's like all the stadiums are in the back, and then
Okay.
like it's
Yeah.
like in the front. What? Oh my god, they have like a fucking like a regular bar and then like
So-
country bar
so-
and shit.
so-
And, like there's assless chaps like when I
Okay,
went.
so I didn't know there were bars there.
Yeah, it's like
You were the one wearing them, weren't you?
huh?
You were the one wearing them, weren't you?
Oh fuck, I wish. God, my
Who's only asked us
I didn't-
chaps
I didn't think-
because you brought
no. So it was like little like women fucking getting up because I've been there before. Like my first time going to Philly, I brought one of my buddies from actually Philadelphia who moved to Syracuse, and I was like, Gudis hooked me up. So I'm like handing my buddy, like I knew we got the see him after the game stuff, like down the locker room tour and shit. My buddy's like, Philly, he goes, fuck you, man. You literally got us sweet tickets and a locker room pass after. You haven't even been in my city for fucking 5 minutes and you fucking show me up. I'm like, I didn't even know where the tickets were. I thought maybe like nosebleeds and shit like that.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck. I just want to see my boy.
No, those guys are good. Those guys have the access to the good shit.
No, so
So-
like they changed the rule, like in the NHL, like the
Really?
visiting team doesn't get free tickets anymore. So when Gudis was with Tampa, my brother and my dad went to Buffalo to go see him because I had to work or there was some reason I couldn't make it. And Gudis literally tried to pay for tickets like down on level 100 in Buffalo. He literally texted my brother and it's like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't get any better tickets other than the 300s. Turns out it was Dominic Hasek Hall of Fame night. Fucking retirement. So like that's how good of a guy like Gudis is. It's like he's like, fuck, I feel like shit. Like, you come to see me, like, I'm apologize that you're all the way up there. And he didn't realize it either. Like he's like trying to take care of us. But it was just like you make connections. Like what I did, I made a lot of good connections. So I'm like, I can never be mad at him. Yeah, I didn't get to go, but like, fuck you stuck me up in the 300s, but you bought my beer so many times. So.
So, all right. So what I was gonna say is the downside. So I didn't realize there's a bar there, but when you put all the stadiums outside the city, which I think Dallas does that and a few other places, to me, like there's less. Like you can't just go out for a night and make the game part of the night. You're going to the game and that's it, and then you're going home. So that was the only thing I was to say. But the downtown, if they had a stadium downtown, oh my god. Now I will say the funny thing that I thought of as you were telling that story is they go to the Stadium Series game and it's right next to where they would normally go to play. So they're literally showing up the same place, just going into a different building for the Stadium Series game.
And yeah,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, like Gudis told me it's like it's nice and convenient. Like even if they stay after, like they try and go to drink at that place, they can't because I guess people fucking try and slip them shit like pillows and shit. Like he's like, yeah, we went there and then somebody got roofied once, and I'm like,
oh no,
your own
that's
fucking
fucked.
team, guys, come on.
Yeah, no. So I will say downtown Party Hard is good. The other thing I was to say, second topic was that with the outdoors, did you still have the ticket?
Yeah,
Did
like
you do
you still have the
anything to
ticket.
display
Like it's literally right over.
Are you displaying it somehow?
No, I'm not.
So
So basically, where I have it is like on a like on a little like fucking like light stand, like I'm in my technically kitchen living room. Still got like take care of it.
I've been to a bunch of outdoor games, and so I have a way that I display my ticket stub, which I don't always get the ticket stub because I'm buying secondhand. So a lot of times I have to find a ticket stub. But the ticket stub, I get a patch, I get a panoramic from the game, a picture. And so when I next week I should be at my house, I'll show you those and take it or leave it. I think it's a cool way to display it and kind of make a little personal memorabilia piece from the event.
Oh man, the cool. I mean, I have some of the stuff when I was working with the crunch and shit. The coolest thing I had though is like, so I got to go to the training camp in France, and we flew out of Montreal.
Shit. Yeah.
So it was also the time at NHL preseason, and you know, like the NHL ranks. The night before it was Montreal versus Washington. I got a picture, right? But they had like the little media pass, and it's like, you know, you see the fucking people says their name, but mine said, you know, Zach Hall, Tampa Bay Lightning. I think I still have that media pass, but I mean, I was in the fucking press box in the Bell Center.
That's awesome.
And I mean, think about, I'm gonna put, this is when Holtby, I don't know, you see Holtby, Ovechkin's the one that's stretching there, and like like, you know, Ovechkin's one of the fucking best scorers in the league. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this. It's like you follow everything and you watch it, and you're like, yeah, they got it guarded pretty good. But to see his release, it's like, God damn.
That's He got it. He did one tonight. Yeah.
That was probably one of the coolest things. I mean, I had like the name bars and shit like that you see at the players' locker rooms. I got all mine stuff like that. I had little note cards that said, you know, it had the Crunch logo and, you know, my name on it. So all the merchandise and shit. But
so we talk about some of the shit, and like obviously I've been a lot of games that I choose to go to and whatnot. You had some access. I will say, for people who are looking for opportunities, I have one thing I did is it was when I was in college, the Super Bowl was nearby, and so I came through asking for security volunteers. So, and I spent 95% of the game outside of the arena or the stadium, didn't do it, but I was on the field for the last 3 minutes doing security for the actual Lombardi Trophy thing, the presentation. And so like for people like, you know, kids coming up, like that's a great way to get paid and also go to an event. So I'm going to toss that out there as we're talking about unique ways to get into shit.
So how about
just sneak your way in?
Huh?
Yeah, or you can just sneak your way in.
So yeah, speaking of that, like before I was full time with the Crunch, like I got my paycheck and shit. I did the visiting room, and the Crunch were in the finals. This was 2012, whatever Grand Rapids won. It was Syracuse versus Grand Rapids.
Okay.
In the finals here. So I was in the visiting room, and you know, I got to travel with the team because, you know, it was the end of the year, all out of school. So I got to go to Grand Rapids with team bus, and luckily the cup was won in Syracuse, like that game 6 or, you know, 5 or 6, one of the games where they came back. The legends I had and treated me like gold from the Detroit organization. I had Chris Draper there. Babcock was head coach and stuff like that. Yeah. This is when John Cooper was just had gotten called up to Tampa to be their coach. And Chris Osgood, Chelios, you know, who else? Like the players that were on Grand Rapids were Mrazek. I'm trying to think all their players. It was like a lot of their young core that got called up, and now are like sick 6 stars. Just like Danny Kaiser was just here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, here. They fucking paid me great, tipped me amazing. But Tatar and stuff. Yeah. Like, hey, bud, how you doing? Like, you know, they actually like cared what I said and like just won. Awesome. And I was like, at first I'm like freaking out. I'm like, all the phones are expensive, and like they got the little shelves like this. I threw it all underneath. And they're like, but we don't give a fuck about this. Come on, here, come drink with us. I'm like, I'm working for the other team, but like I'm working for you guys. I can't do it. they like the way that they celebrated was unreal. Like they're like, yeah, just come fucking party with us. Come.
That's awesome. I think still, I don't know, maybe they won twice. I think they won in 2015 at least, because Tyler Bertuzzi won.
Bertuzzi was there. Bertuzzi was there too.
I think it was 2015 was when I was looking him up on Wikipedia the other day. And I think it was 15 when I saw that he won it, because he's been active on the wing since 18. I think he had a couple games in 17.
It was Bertuzzi was there though. He was fucking nice guy too. Like he's like, hey bud, how you doing? Like, you know, I'm like,
your whole your whole Gudis story makes me wonder now because there was a so like I said, I go to a lot of the
Judas
outdoor
actually
games
played in
for
that final with a fucking torn ACL. So he had to
oh
have surgery.
shit.
He wasn't even supposed to play.
Ooh.
Like, his
Ooh.
presence, his physical presence.
Yeah.
He had surgery right after. I mean,
Well, yeah. It's just his presence and the team are intimidated a little bit. He doesn't even have to do anything. But that's insane. But no, so like there was this one. So I go to a lot of the outdoor ones, and I was the first one I went to was the Winter Classic in Ann Arbor, the big house, and they had the pre event stuff where all the alumni were just showing stuff, and I was at a bar, and literally it was how the hell was it wasn't Chelios, it was Cicerelli, um, and I think McCarty, and maybe a couple, maybe it was no, it was Lidstrom, and I was just like, man, what's a beer? Five, actually, it's probably $10 or something like that, but whatever. But like, I could have gone up and I could have been like, hey guys, let me buy you a beer because it'd be cool to say I bought them a beer. But after your Gouda story, they probably would have laughed the shit out of me. Like,
so no, the thing is like with Gudis and stuff like that, like he stayed in the house or no, he the year after he was full time. But there was players that literally lived probably 5 minutes from me. Like where I live. I mean, I'm like 15 minutes outside from where the rink is, so they always try and stay close.
So it was a little more personal, not just some random.
Yeah, so I literally go to the bar, and I used to go out every weekend with them after like the home games and shit.
Okay.
And I try and buy the fucking players rounds. I mean, my brother went fucking shot for shot one night where I was DD with Brett Connolly, and the fucking bar tab like that. What my brother drank was like $400. You know how much he paid? $0.
Yeah.
And like fucking him and Brett Connolly were just both stumbling. You motherfucker, you can't go anywhere without me. Like Connolly's grabbing him like this, and like if one of them had the piss, they both had the piss. Like he's like, because we were like the same age, so he was, like underage too at the time. But he's like, you motherfucker. And once my brother realized that, I told him how much he had. He's like, Cons, do I owe anything? He's like, did you have a good time? He's like, yep. Did you puke? After I got home, 2:45 in the morning. Huh? You made it all night. You didn't fucking puke. All right, good for you. No, you don't owe me shit, boy.
That's awesome. All right, we should really get back to Philly.
Okay, Philly. Okay, so got to take off pastry upcut for.
Yeah. So I got you to that. Yep, solid there. And then they got Robinski now. We talked about the trade already. Yeah. One shot, then dangles. Swell Burrito's a solid guy. I've seen him playing quite a bit. Glaucoma's solid pickup there. In goal, and here's the 3 goalies again. With New York, they've got so much talent that it's almost like, well, we may as well get the backup. And Lemieux, if you had that chance to take Lemieux as your 3rd goalie, like you do it. For Philly to go rounds 1 and 2 and
see what I'm doing here?
Yeah, you put 12
and a half.
my
head because how the fuck your first 2 picks you take 2 goalies?
Yeah, I think we'll see how it plays out. I think there's some inexperience at play here. And so yeah, you put $12.5 million of salary cap into goalies, and obviously salary cap only comes in certain ways, places, but you can't go above, which also kind of limits your ability to bring in other talent that has a salary attached to them, and then it's going to be nearly impossible to get a team to take a goalie off your hands with that much salary cap. Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
I played a couple games with these guys, like during scouting. Green's not bad. Texas isn't bad. I didn't play with Delta. I mean, Elite Delta. So, it's a head. It's legit a head scratcher how they fucking drafted.
So they got $5 million cap space, which should be pretty much the same across the board. That said, they have.
Oh, they're gonna wait. Yeah, they will because of the trade. They got.
Oh yeah, so they're gonna gain some salary cap space there. So they'll gain about $2 million-ish there. Then so take a look. They have 2 late signups that are $3 million each. Super average, solid RA pick or
solid
random.
Solid.
Assignment there. Voodoo Dabber's the other one that kept Poppy Bad Mash. I don't know enough of their lineup. You're gonna have interesting time with Poppy in the locker room. He likes. He's another guy who he's the
Super signed up
best
as goalie, but
hockey
he can
player
play
ever.
forward. He's a good
according to
center.
him.
He's a good center and he's a good right winger.
Yep. Oh, no, Super's very solid. Like the Super Bowl roster, it should go roster.
Yeah, that's probably their best
Which
training camp.
that's really why I was taking a look at their salary cap. Tech Nine, Randall, I've seen him around. Ranger, I've seen him around, but like I think those are about the same as the guys they have on the roster. And then, like I said, Poppy. Honestly, he probably should be roster there as much as I just don't know enough about the roster. But like he can be super toxic, and so I'm sure he's being toxic in the locker room if he's still in the locker room. But with the talent you have on the team, that unless there's a lot of chemistry there, I could see actually getting him into play. Yeah. That's probably the only team I see that. Sorry, Poppy.
Nothing against you.
All right, let's move on to Toronto.
The last team. Fucking about time.
Also a fun city. Granted, I think through. Is there? Ottawa is the only city on the list that I have not been to, and Columbus. I stayed at my buddy's parents' house. So I really have a party there. I party in the rest of these, and I would party in all of them again. All right, Toronto. Okay. Newfie, so let's go. Welcome back.
Newfie, welcome back. Thank you. Actually, Newfie, I gotta give you credit. The last interaction you had with fucking drafting a great player, you fucked that one up. But getting 10 ply, first pick, great. I mean, this is my team, I think he drafted me too high? Yes. Do I know how we're gonna be? I can't tell you. Because a lot of these guys haven't built chemistry yet. I don't know. A lot of people aren't giving a shit to fucking play. The only person I played with, on this game was with Jay Sawyer. We played a fucking threes eliminator with only just the two of us. So, we're both defensemen.
So 10 plus solid. Kucherov too, solid.
Mm-hmm. Split from Rum isn't bad.
Yep. You got TFA already in as captain. You got obviously rated high on defense. Trump and net, solid net.
Rated high. God, who fucked that one up? Thanks, Tribe.
Voltage Tech has been around. I don't know him that well, but I do know I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Rick on TC. I have to look that one up. I'll have to look that one up. I have to check if he's got the new gen. I thought
Trump's a good goalie. I like Trump.
Stumber
doesn't have a mic, but like he literally he'll text in the group chat all the time. I'm not gonna go off why he doesn't have a mic, but well, I think he does have it, but he never really puts it on. I really don't give a shit if you always have it or not. But, if you see something,
taking a look through, they have some interesting names on the training camp roster. You guys do. Country playing Dirty Diaper. I would just make them a line just for fun.
Country boy's got the dirty diaper because he's been rolling in the shit today.
Yeah. Let's see. Winnipeg General. Again, solid TC, and we'll be able to play in there and get some time there. So I think you guys have stuff to work with. I know that you are a lot to work with, and I'm definitely not the.
Thanks, I'm a lot to work with. Yes, I know. I'm the D-gen from Syracuse.
You're a lot of work needed. Not no, just kidding. But no, still, there's a lot of talent there, and definitely probably not top, but definitely not the bottom either. So I would say middle of the road, definitely better than the last Newfie team. But again, some of that comes with just knowing people and whatnot. And I know he knows a lot of people. So he did a much better draft than last time. So congrats, Newfie. I think you've got a pretty good chance to really kind of show what you're doing. If you make especially if you make some moves, that could be a top 3 team with this talent that they have. They've got a solid first line. This is definitely a team that, again, I'm going to say, line 1, line 2, not a line 1A and line 1B, and that's the only thing that keeps them.
I think our biggest problem is going to
one
be
step
is
back.
if we can get chemistry, if we can get people to play outside the league games, and that's for any team. Get
And
them chemistry. So
yeah, and I know Nufi is very active. So, or at least he was last time. I can't say how he is now, but usually in the chat, and he's always hitting me up, hitting up the main chat. I'm a little surprised to hear that that the team Ross chat is not that active. So hopefully that changes. But
like I said, I've been fucking.
I think
I
that
don't
there is
call that
definitely
shit.
potential here.
So
Sure,
all
sure.
right, let's go with
You're either at work or drunk, so
not wrong.
all right.
All right, let's go with top.
All right, so
what do you think? Top 2 teams.
top 3. Do you top 2? Top 3. Did you think? Okay, let's just put it this way. Do we agree on the top 3?
You go with yours. I can say if I agree or not.
I think it's going to probably be Colorado, Detroit, and New York. You don't agree? So let's do top three.
I do agree. I mean, sleepers,
okay. So then,
sleepers right now. It can be my team, and it could be Ottawa.
I was going to go with Ottawa for the surprise. So if we agree on the top 3, then let's make it more particular. Top 2, because I don't think we'll agree.
Top 2. I mean, I have to. Yep. I mean, it just depends. I mean, I know Jesus isn't going to be a fucking cancer. He's very you know how many times I buddy passed him last year, and he's like, "It's all good, man. We got the fuck out." Like, I fucking literally, you're supposed to be our best player, and I'm fucking you over hardcore. It's like, it's whatever, man. Like, he didn't talk much, but he'd answer, be like, "Yo, my bad." He's like, "It's all good." Like, he didn't have his mic muted, but he just kept it in any rage or anything.
So I think Colorado.
I'm thinking the top team, especially with the trade that they made, could help them out. So I think it's going to be Colorado. Top team right now or anything else. So
I'll mix it up, and I think Colorado's good. I'll go with my top 2 with Detroit and New York.
That's because you're on the fucking asshole until they trade your ass.
Well, yeah. I think it's really hard to pick against a team with Haxby, Glitchy, Slarky, Cavi, Scyther,
is
Jobo,
the fallibility, and if anybody's gonna be a
Melvin, JJR. No, yeah. I understand. So all right. So I didn't.
That's the only reason I didn't pick you guys. Honestly, if you're looking at paper right now, if you can get everybody to show up every game and not be a toxic cunt, I'm gonna use a toxic cunt because it just describes the way people can play.
Who are you picking then? You're picking for your number 2. You pick Colorado number 1. Who are you
Colorado
picking
number 1, just because I don't think they have as much egos as what you have.
Okay.
And because it's not a shot at JJR or anything like that, but him and his brother can get, which Billy isn't in the league, but they can get fucking arrogant and egos. If something doesn't go their way, can get banned. That's the only reason why I do not pick you guys number 1.
Yep.
Too much.
So,
number 2? Shit. I say that's a toss-up right now between Columbus and the Rangers. If you get I said, if you get through this without anybody being, it depends on how much Loyal's doing.
So I thought we agreed on the top 3, so I didn't have Columbus in there as a possibility. You would potentially go Colorado, Columbus.
The only reason, the problem is that I'm not putting you guys in there is all your egos.
No, I get that 100%. I get that 100%. But you tossed Columbus in there out of the blue. No pun intended, being the Blue Jackets. But they weren't in the top 3 we talked about. But if you would go Colorado, Columbus, I'll mix it up, and I'm going to go Detroit, New York.
Well, I'm saying it's hard to say. That's why I want to do top 2, and you guys are obviously in there, and Colorado because they drafted smart, and the trade they made it helped them out. Getting a 2-for-1, and you get an extra $1 million salary in it. It's okay. You can work with other shit.
Yeah.
Did the Rangers have a good draft? Yes, they did. Dempsey and AT had a good draft. Hones. It's just Columbus, I think, is going to build that fucking chemistry. So,
Yeah.
all right. I think
we'll see on that. So, what were we talking about next?
Anybody got any fucking feedback for us? Like, it's our first time doing this on the fly, just me and you. So, anybody wants to be a guest? Just
Am I allowed to show what I'm seeing on my monitor right now?
fuck yeah. Please.
All right. So this is the party going on right now.
God, the fucking neon.
Yeah, sorry,
Bring
the
it
color.
down a little bit, bro. You're like above the screen.
Oh shit! I can't see. I'm behind it.
Are you behind that or behind the girl that you're trying to see? What the fuck?
No, I'm behind the camera. I'm downstairs. Anyway, could you see much?
Yeah, that was.
It's a party going on.
It's good talent. So, back to what I'm saying quick. I mean, this was on the fly, and I'm surprised we actually recorded for as long as we did, because I didn't have shit written down. I had fucking 2 things written down. So, and us rambling on. Just let us know, guys, if you like the way that we ramble on. I know this is near the end, but you know, we might have to do polls or some shit. What should we drink tonight?
Can you see the party?
Yeah, goddamn. That's why I'm trying to wrap it up quick. So, hey, good luck to everybody.
You're trying to let me go upstairs?
Fuck yeah.
Wait, I did actually, before we go, I wanted to talk some rules. Because I have the opportunity to do so right now. So
right, let me fucking
shit. So
video
we talked a bit about the RAs already.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we talked a bit about the whole RAs and the late sign up rule. And I'm trying to think what the other big thing. I think we were talking short week this week to start off, just because of Thanksgiving in the U.S. And we talked a bit about the Jobo situation. Was there any other big rule changes? Because I feel like there was 1 or 2 that I was like, I should probably discuss this on the podcast, because I know it's an interesting thing that I want to fight.
But I mean, fuck it. If anything, we can just do a random little fucking short piece to post during the week. So.
Okay. Yeah. If I think of it, I just, this is a good chance for me to get things out there from the league perspective, as we talked about already. So, yeah.
I'm about to fucking stop this for you. I'm not going to fucking sit here and cock block you. So.
No. You're good. No, you're good. I'll probably just end up. Yeah. Don't want to play enforcer. I don't know.
All right, boys. All right, let's do this, because he's literally eye fucking everything on the camera. Anybody who's got any recommendations for us or wants to join, just fucking reach out to us and we'll fit you in. All right.
Cool.
This is CNS and a Kraken fucking on a random fucking topic that we didn't have shit written down, rambling on for too long. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.